what is your view on awakening?
Meditation is designed by its nature to transform us deeply. And awakening would be one way station or one sort of watermark on the path of deeply transforming our relationship to every aspect of our life. Or another sort of myth that people have is that awakening is like an end state where you get awakening and then not only is it finished and you're done developing, but also all of your problems have gone away. And that is just fundamentally not the case.
Yeah.
And it's hard for people to understand, like, wait, so you could experience awakening and you could still have tragedy in your life and feel sad. Awakening is one, real. Two, it doesn't mean you're a god. Doesn't mean you don't have to brush your teeth, right? You have all the conditions of an ordinary human. Three, let's say, is totally attainable, is available for people. And what would four be? It can be arrived at through systematic practice over the course of not that much of life. And then I guess if I were to add a five in there, I would say that it's a great starting point, and that we don't want to think of it as the end of a path.
What are some of the practices and maybe their outcomes or desired outcomes or,
A very common technique that people use is watching the breath. Great technique when actually any sense experience can work as our path. Let's say someone wants to meditate and I go through their values with them and they listed, friendship, connection, contribution, community, and just all of these very interpersonally related ways of values in their life. I'm going to tell them, I'm going to have you pay very close attention to your emotion in your body, and that's going to be the object of meditation. Now, that's harder to do than watch the breath. But if our goal is interpersonal connection, that's a much more valuable object of meditation. So for me, I'm always picking objects based on where people want to go.
Can you define for people what stream entry is, coming from your perspective?
I have my own definition, largely because I'm trying to accommodate many traditions. The way I describe stream entry is that the body-mind, our perceiving experience, has a new default, and it switches over to a default where it metabolizes the general suffering of existing, which is existing has pain just by its nature. It's already learning to metabolize that difficulty on its own naturally. And I could explain how it does that, but that's what it's doing. And it's also geared towards the joy and splendor of existing, just the existential delight of the existing experience itself, that our body mind is now defaulted in that direction. Now, it doesn't mean we're completely there all the time. It doesn't mean we are, we don't have any problems again, but it's like the snake has entered the tube. It cannot turn around. It is just, that's where it is.
Is stream entry realistic?
100%. 100%. It's just the general premise is it is something that if you treat like a serious hobby, you can get there in not too long.
Awesome. And again, thank you so much for coming on. I really appreciate your time. I appreciate the work you're doing, and I hope to speak to you again soon.
Yeah. Thank you. Thanks, everybody.
All right. Take care.